for a minute, and then we'll slowly talk about the map, and then that's when. Alright, I'm gonna mute myself now.
Alright. Okay, welcome everybody. These are the OTC Division C playoffs, and we've got the squad that is the Hive going up against the other squad, the Yurp squad here. And I've seen the Hive play before in a couple matches, and I've got to say they're a pretty up-and-coming team. Despite the SR range that they may be at, this team definitely shows a lot of promise, and I'm excited to see what the Yurp squad is going to bring to the table to try and deal with them. The first match is going to be Lijiang Tower and HX9. Would you mind telling us, what do you expect to see on Lijiang?
Lijiang Tower. We've seen it time and time again. It's one of the most fun maps for Pharahs for sure, but then you get into that control center and it's just Brawl City. And with Brigitte around, that Brawl City can get pretty intense. Some triple heal, triple tank comps that come out, and whatever else you might be thinking of could come out there too. But the other maps, some dive maybe some Ryan Zarya. So we'll have to see. It'll be very interesting to see here, Rian.
Yeah, I think with Brig moving into the meta, especially this season a whole lot because it's her maiden voyage into the world of Overwatch. She's definitely impacted how control is played a lot, in these King of the Hill maps, and just the kind of allows you to play more death volley comps when in the past, it's a lot of dive, because Brig does so well against dive. It helps them. It helps the team if you want to be able to run Ryan Zarya or anything of the sort to be able to move on to the point, but of course, Far Mercy as popular as ever, especially on Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, I really do hope that we are able to see just Far Mercy a little bit here too. I think that's a great way to start setting things up. Far Mercy tends to be a little bit of a skill check for a lot of teams, where some teams, they end up being able to handle it and they deal with it pretty well, and other teams just don't really have the wherewithal to just take Pharah just out of the sky, or Mercy, either one. Some of these maps, like this one right here, where we are in the city center, or the night market rather, this is one where Pharah Mercy gets a little bit downplayed because the point isn't very open. It's not necessarily an easy place for Pharah to get into, which means she's a little bit more accessible. But when we get to the garden, oh boy.
Oh yeah. And, you know, the night market, you know, you have this big old area out in front of the point you could fight into, and then, of course, the windows on top and on the side, so you can spam shots through. But I totally agree that it's a little bit harder for Pharah to play here. And, you know, and we see that the Yurp squad isn't going to even be playing Pharah. They're going to be switching onto the Tracer McCree DPS, most likely to check that Pharah. And Dynamic B, we're going to see what he can do on this Pharah as the teams try to move in. They're running the Reaper as well to try and deal with this kind of tanky comp that the Yurp squad's pulling out.
Oh yeah, we do have a push in here from Animation getting on BSO and in Partisan. They're kind of finding a Mercy up there. It does look like they are on the point though here, and they're going to have to hold on to it as much as they can. They've lost a few members of their team, but it's not going to last long. Tempest going down really quickly, and Pele here. Pele. He's going down too.
It makes sense, you know, the old pills here. Classic joke, Left 4 Dead, you know, back in the old days. But, yeah, you know, what happened with that fight is they dove onto the supports and they capitalized on that initial dive really, really well. The supports literally could not have done anything there. The Mercy was trapped as soon as Zenyatta was there. I mean, it was just, it was like a tar pit, you know? As soon as that Zen's down, you got nowhere else to fly to and you're surrounded on all sides. It's very unlucky. Now you see the dive come back onto this Zen once more, but this time, the team is there to support him, and Hermes is actually going to pay for that aggression and end up dying here initially in this fight, but the team is going to be pushing it regardless. Malconzo, that was a bad play there by flying into the team. You put yourself at such big risk, and you really weren't going to get anything out of that anyways, but here's a High Noon. It's going to try to, it's actually going to end up DMECing Banana there. The Matrix ran out, and there's not enough, and the rest of the team is just going to push on right in, shut down this entire push on the back of Tempest, taking the point by storm.
Well, there's a little song I like to sing when you have a play like this. The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah, and that's what happened there. It looked like the Hive, just kind of marched one by one into the Yurp squad, and well, if you do that, then you get taken out one by one. So it's time to group up a little better. Make sure you're either holding the door or holding the point. Pick one.
Yeah, because on this point, you know, especially, there's the two different areas you can hold. You can hold the outside and try to go for the boops or check that area, or you can hold main, try to lock them down when they walk in the front. If I was the Yurp squad right now, I would put your McCree on the side with the flashbang and then have the rest of the team hold forward, because the McCree can flashbang anyone on the side and also try and check that Pharah who's up there, where the rest of the team can just block out the push up front. But here we see the push is starting now. Dynamics does have a barrage here, but on the side of the Yurp squad, they have a shatter that we're going to be watching out for in the fight. There's a bomb in the corner, though. Didn't really find anything, so we're just going to see that that doesn't get the value that perhaps Pepto might have wanted there. Interesting. Pepto-Bismol and pills here. I don't know.
Oh, brutal Slimy Serpent coming in there with the quad kill with High Noon. Set up there too by his tank Tempest on Reinhardt. Got the hammer down. Charged past all of the Hive and just was able to get it hammered down on a couple of them. But the key person he got hammered down on was Hermes there. So with the Reinhardt down, there's no shield, and fire away, Slimy Serpent. Great hold there.
I mean, I felt like I was watching an old Western movie there, you know, the old stare down, watching everyone. I mean, that's pretty much what McCree is anyways. That's what they were going for. But here's a bomb on the point. Gonna find Tempest, actually, who got charged into the corner. Perfect timing out of Hermes there, but there's a trans on the point. Little late, because your tank line's already down. Mikonzo, though, is down. That's a big pick, because the Mercy, all these kills are now permanent, and with the Death Blossom coming out, he's gonna make up for that, you know? Reaper, it makes sense. The Mercy's down, the Angel's down. It's time for the Devil to show up.
Yeah, you know, Pepto here kind of cleaning up a little bit in spite of having most of his team down there. So that was a pretty strong play on his part. He's going to get a little bit closer to that pulse bomb as a result and be able to come in here. So a good stall on his part. There's probably one fight left as a result. But one thing left to think about here is, you know, getting off that point when that Diva Bomb comes in. You know, you can just walk right off. You don't have to worry about keeping the point on your possession in some cases.
But you see, oh, there's a grab that's going to come out right away. Combo, they went for it there, but it was a little late. And you saw actually the High Noon did get canceled out by the barrage there. And Artisan's left on the point trying to contest, but there's not a whole lot you can do when you're 1 HP and dropping. Funimation, though, boom, that was a delayed shatter from Tempest there. He got knocked up in the air a little bit, but it's going to find the value that they need to shut down Funimation and Mikonzo both. Hive still has the point with Banana here, who actually could clutch this out because the rest of the team is now coming back, and it's just Pella here on the point. But, of course, here comes the Tracer as well. There's a shatter on the point from Hermes there, but he's getting lasered down by the team. And Artisan's able to secure the kill, and now he's on the point along with a Mercy. They're trying to go for the res here. Can he sneak it off? He is actually going to be able to, as Kevin Supreme is shut down by the the Coalescence there. So what was originally going in favor of the Yurp squad is actually on the back of Banana. He's going to peel apart the entirety of the team pretty much solo and allow the team to get back in time.
Wow, I haven't seen a more hype hold there in quite a while, especially with this kind of division of play. You know, keeping yourself alive can be a very tricky business, and when you do it, you know, you give your team to come back, and if it just so happens that your team was the first one to die, and you're the one holding on there, they're going to be the first ones to come back, and that's exactly what happened. So what looks like a winning situation quickly turns into a losing situation, just as we saw there. Now that we're coming into Control Center, though, I would expect to see a little bit more brawly comps. Definitely saw Ryan Zarya on both teams last time, so maybe we'll see a little bit more healing. And it looks like, yeah, we're going to see that on the side of the Hive here. They've got triple healer coming in.
With the Junkrat too, which I really like, because that allows you, you know, it's more closed off point. Perfect for Junkrat, you know. I'm sure he's cackling to himself, laughing as expected of the Junkrat, but here's the Tracer on the flank, Pepto on the backline. Funimation's the first to die, though, by Slimy Serpent, who made the switch onto the Widow. He's pressuring them from the outside here, and with Pepto there in the backline, he's shut down instantly by the old Brigitte. Or the old Baguette, you know, however you want to say it. There are many different ways you could say that, but Slimy Serpent's finding the value. Both healers are now down. Or no, not both healers, so excuse me. Funimation was down, so you lose a lot of your DPS, and then McHanzo's down, so every kill is permanent here on out. But it doesn't matter, because Banana's there once more to just completely shut down the team.
Oh yeah, well basically with their triple support, no one really died. Well, until Funimation there, who you know, found himself in a little bit of a dicey spot. But you know, Funimation, he'll come back real quickly here. Long story short here, though, this is a great map for that triple support because you're really in close quarters. You can take full advantage of all those AoE-based healing.
That is what you want to do. All that AoE healing, especially with the Brigitte, you need to play close to her, as that's the bread and butter of this composition. But they set up a bit of a trap for the Junkrat with the Moira pinball and the D.Va pushing up front, but he's going to be able to sneak on out of there. You know, not much happening so far, though. No,
but Tempest here, gonna push in. He's gonna go ahead and pop Coalescence there. Oh, he just gets absolutely knocked out. Kevin Spring's gonna pick up
annihilated.
But in Artisan there, coming in with the Coalescence, just really wiping everyone out. Now they're going to push in, try to get a few picks while everyone's kind of down here. But BSOE taking out the mech of Banana. That's going to have a little bit of impact in the next one.
Massive pick here, especially, you know, that if that's the only one you get, huge play coming out from BSOE here. But I think Banana is able to actually get back in the mech, get the peel of the Banana back on, you know? You never want to be caught without your peel if you are Banana here, because it's very, very dangerous. Love these fruit jokes, by the way. Amazing. Funimation, though, on the sideline is very close to a tire here. He's currently in a duel with the other Junkrat. No one really winning that one. Pepto actually has a tire of his own. We could see some road rage coming out on both sides from Funimation and Pepto. Pepto's popping his first. He's the first to go. It goes right for Dynamics, who did pop the rally. They're going to lose that. Here, a counter tire coming out from Funimation, looking for more picks. Perhaps does find two in the backline. BSOE and Slimy Serpent now down. The Zen especially lose a lot of value with that Transcendence. They're going to be able to sneak the res off, though. Kevin Supreme is found. Pepto as well. The team not looking too hot here for Yurp squad. BSOE now pushes on to the point using the Transcendence, but he's instantly found out by Banana here, who's looking to secure the kill onto him. There's a Coalescence that comes up from Artisan, who's been building these up so quickly. And Banana, again, that's been the story of this match on the D.Va. Normally wouldn't expect a tank to carry, especially an off tank, but he's the one that's doing it. On the back of him, the Hive is able to 2-0 this. Yeah,
Banana quickly becoming the apple of my eye in this series, for sure. And Orange, you glad I said that, man? Maybe yet another fruit pun. But as we see here, this is the Slimy Serpent play. The hammer down heading onto Hermes. Just an absolute dominating ability there. Just, you know, when you get that high noon up and you don't have a shield in front of it, that's what's going to happen. But pretty much a dominating performance there. Once again by our lovely Hive on the red team. So, yeah, going into this next map here, what do we want to see, Rian? What's the map choice we're going to get?
The map choice next is going to be Escort, if my memory does not fail me here. You have to excuse me for 1 second, but what I expect to see from Escort is, you know, we could see, depending on what the teams ban, we could see some Bastion comps on the point, which is interesting. You know, sometimes teams do indeed choose to pull that out. You know, the old pirate ship composition. You could see some sails flying here today, but normally I'd expect to see the kind of the standard comp. You know, as usual, what we've seen is just the Ryan Zarya Brig with the Hanzo as well.
All right, you know, I can get along with that. I'll go along with that even. I don't know, though, Rian. basically, I think that's about what I want to see there. You know, I think the Hive here, it's all about triple heals. I think at this point, the way Yurp squad handled that, they just didn't. There was no way to get through the damage there.
Right.
They just stood there and just got blown up by a Junkrat. So anything that they can do just to keep that kind of sustain up, I think Yurp's just not gonna have the damage to get through it, and that'll just be it. You don't have to worry about it.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what you saw in that last round, right? Is the triple healer. They tried to go for something with the Widowmaker and the Junkrat combo, trying to get all that damage out, but it just in the end wasn't enough because there was just so much healing. You know, Junkrat popping some mines off, 130 damage each if they're direct hits, but if they're not direct hits, then I mean they just laugh it off, right? It's like, who even cares? This is just, it's like a mosquito, right? Just slap it away, get out of here, Junkrat. No one really cares. It's that's basically what we saw there, you know, and with Banana there with the defense matrix too to block all the Junkrat bombs and then the Widow shots too. They really didn't have an answer.
It does look like we're going to go into Dorado, and that is definitely an early choke that a triple heal can hold. So, you know, I kind of want to see that. But Dorado also known a little bit for its dives, which tend to be, you know, a little bit sketchy against triple heal, but also a little bit good if you can really find those backline people, but it depends on what that triple heal is. So if we see Brig, Mercy, and Moira, I don't think the dive's going to do so well, but if we see maybe a Lucio, maybe no Mercy, that would be a little tricky.
It's interesting if they would choose to run a Lucio here. I don't expect it because, you know, in this current meta, in this kind of state of Overwatch currently, Lucio is not a bad hero, right? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Lucio is actually a really good hero. He's probably one of the best heroes in the game. It's just anything he can do in this current meta, another support hero can do better, right? If you want to shut down a Grav Dragons combo, Lucio can't do that with a sound barrier. Zen can with the Transcendence, you know, and Lucio just doesn't have enough healing to support the team. He's good for dive compositions, you know, which eventually did end up dying out. But in this current, you know, more death ball, shut down the other team using the Brig, stun, CC focused state of the game, he's not really the hero that you want.
Does look like we are seeing Mercy here, of course. Mercy Zen, a common combo, but what's interesting here is the tank combination coming on the defense here, and that is Reinhardt D.Va. Usually we see Reinhardt and Zarya paired together, even on this map. And I wonder, well, Rianne, maybe you can enlighten me here, because to me this is kind of a weird synergy that they might have.
You know, that's one of the things I've noticed. In a lot of these kind of lower elo matches, they don't choose to run Rein Zarya. They run Rein D.Va, which is, in my eyes, you know, it can work. It's not maybe ideal, but it's interesting to see how these teams use the D.Va to harass the Pharah and also to, you know, use their Matrix to support the team, because Matrix, it's like the discount bubble, right? You know, bubble is a lot more predictive, whereas Matrix is very reactive, and I think that's really the decider here. But Slimy Serpent coming up big with the first pick onto Dynamics. They are going to be able to res it, though.
Yeah, but Pele, he says, yeah, you got the res, but I got the mercy. So he can even run over into Artisan in the back there. So there is some backline action going on here, though, and a little bit of a D-mech there. Pele here finding Banana. So that little flank, it didn't really pay out very well for them. And Tempest, what are you doing, man?
Sniped Banana, who's trying to just waltz his way out of that fight. Just did not even let that. Who would win? One big old fire boy or one little mechy girl? You know what I'm saying? It's always the fire. It's always the fire strike.
You dropped the meme there, Ian. You know.
I did. I know.
The boy or the girl is on just the back half.
Halfway through, I was like, no, this is garbage. Just ignore that. That didn't happen. Flatcasters, but there's a stick on a McHonzo to open this fight up in the back. Pepto already getting value. He's going to be taken down, but that is a trade you want to get there, as Ind Artisan is quickly finished off as well. That's going to be permanent kills, everything that's going to come out, because the Mercy's down right away. They have the spawn advantage, though. Charge comes out. Not going to do much, but knock Tempest up into the air like a pinball, of course. Hermes is going to win this duel out, though, because he has more HP. Funimation's the only one left on the point with Dynamics ZB, but they're going to be shut down very early by Pele here, especially with Slimy Serpent on the side applying the pressure. But now, Hermes stayed alive for the most part. He's going to be finished off shortly here if he's not careful. Yep, Pepto there. And along with Slimy Serpent. But Pele here, he's just been on the point solo, just contesting this thing forever. He's got the bomb, actually. Yeah, he's going to pop it to get back in the map. Mac Hermes there on bomb defusal, though, able to take that one out. But the point, the cart, is pretty close to the checkpoint here, and with more ultimates on the side of the Hive here, it looks like they're gonna have a successful push.
Hermes, man, you know, living up to his name right there. He went off into the corner, got Tempest out there, took him down, and then he found a little Kevin Supreme in the corner, and he ate him up like a Supreme pizza. It's absolutely destroyed him. That really set up the rest of the folks on the side of the Hive just to really just push in the point and get the rest of everything down. So the sustainability of this triple healer just coming into play very much here on this push.
You know what's funny is with the triple healer, you don't have a second DPS, right? Well, guess who showed up to the task? It's Hermes playing that flanking Reinhardt. There's the stick in the back. Not going to find anything, though, with that pulse bomb. It's going to go to waste, unfortunately. Banana's finished off, though, before he can get back into the mech. But Pepto is down. Spawn advantage really not there for either team here. They have to walk back considerable distances for both sides. Pepto actually not even sure how they got that res off. Kevin Supreme playing Metal Gear Solid, apparently, with that sneaky res on the sideline. Going to pop the box to get back with the team and heal everyone up. But here, Tempest charges in. No fear on this Reinhardt. Hermes is there, though, to lock him down. There's a tire that comes out. Shut down by Pepto, though. Bomb again. Doesn't really find anything. This is what I see a lot in these lower elo games as well, as everyone uses their ults. Everyone presses Q in reaction to the Qs. And you see as a result of this that all the ults are pretty much gone on all sides. Only both Reinhardts have the shatter here. So even though the Yurp squad wins this one out, they use all of their ultimates.
Yeah, Rian, some of those ultimates a little bit questionable, but you know, Brigida's coming up on hers. We do have the Mercy ult on defense, on the offense here, and I think those will really be a big part of it, as long as Slimy Serpent lets them get out of the spawn. Right now, he's just doing an amazing job on this Widowmaker.
Yeah, Banana's still out of his mech here, so he needs to get back in it right away. But Slimy Serpent, again, finishing him off, does not even let them get out. As you were saying, just locking them down. And, of course, the res already came out to bring Funimation back in the fight. So Banana does get back in the mech, but it's going to have to walk back, of course. Pele here, though, playing on the point, very aggro on the Diva. That's what we've seen so far from him in the past. He's now the Baby Diva Zero Suit on the side, trying to get something done. Hermes actually ignoring him for the most part, but Slimy Serpent do not ignore him. Coming up big with the double kill there onto both supports. It's just McHanzo left, who it's going to be hard for him to try and support the team solo. Tries to sneak off a res, but Slimy Serpent again. Brutal on this Widowmaker. Cleaning, wiping the floor with him.
Rian, man, Slimy Serpent here, he's the playmaker, you know. Before it was Banana, right? But Banana, he's got to get up there and kind of deal with this guy. And he's just really just getting demeched right away when he jumps up to try to deal with him. So the team's either got to make a swap off to dive, or they've got to use these ultimates, or they got to take an alternate path here so they can delodge him from the upper path here.
You know, I think because Yurp Squad did actually pick the map here, I think part of the reason why they picked Dorado is to let Slimy Serpent get this value on the Widow, because you see, couldn't really run Widow on that last map Funimation, now with the tower trying to make something work. You couldn't run Widow on that last map, finds 2 kills actually, but on this Dorado, this is where you can run it, but with that double kill from the tower coming up from Funimation, it's really looking in favor of the Hive here.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and pop Transcendence on defense here, hoping to get something out of this push, but they're really outnumbered at this point as Rally comes out. Hammer down from Hermes, does connect on BSOE, but Slimy Serpent, he's just coming up around. He's going to try to take everyone out here by himself. Pepto, too, adding a little bit of damage there from the high ground, but Pele goes down on the point. Pepto getting knocked off the top. He's getting harassed by Banana, and those sights does come out from Slimy Serpent. It's just not going to be enough. They're pushing in here. One last chance to contest, and they choose not to as they back off, and the Hive takes point number 2.
Smart play, because Slimy Serpent was really low HP there in Tempest. You know, Ryan can't really 1v6. No, you always want to make that hero play. You're the big, beefy German man with a shield and a giant rocket-powered hammer. Why would you not want to go in and knock everyone down and make a hero play there? One for the highlight reels, you know? But Tempest showing some self-restraint. You'll get your chance another time, you know? You wait, play it slow. Banana with getting demeched right away here. That seems to be the story so far. They're shutting down Banana, who was, of course, the playmaker the last time, as you said, but there's a flank shatter on the side from Tempest. That's the hero play that he was waiting for, I'm sure.
And when all your team's dead, popping Valkyrie, as McHanzo did there, probably not the best decision. It's best to regroup and kind of get your bearings back together. And now they're going to be down another support ultimate here, and now they're running kind of a weird triple support comp. They've got Zenyatta, Moira, and Mercy, which I don't know is very well advised. They're definitely sacrificing a lot of DPS now, but they are into this dive, and this dive might pay off pretty well against these snipers.
I think, yeah, dive is how you want to run into the snipers, right? Because, oh, here's a Dragon Strike. A little early, perhaps. Does actually find some damage with Hermes, but he's going to be able to heal that one. I would have saved that for later on when they're pushing up the hallway or something like that. It's just kind of goes to waste there, and it just gives the supports free ultimate here. You know, gave Pepto 20%, but Slimy Serpent again shuts down Dynamics. You know, as I was saying though before, I was so rudely interrupted by Slimy Serpent popping off. This is how you want to pressure the snipers, right? Is you want to dive onto them, distract them, while the rest of your team, you know, tries to finish them off as soon as possible. Because the comp kind of depends upon the double snipers to find that value. And if Hermes misses his jump there, overshoots that by quite a bit, and he's backed into a corner here and finished off. Unlucky.
And meanwhile, Tempest trying to do this flanking route gets taken out by Funimation. He's going to be able to pop his tire here. Does get destroyed though by Pepto, and Mikanzo gets the res on Hermes in the meantime. Bombs flying out onto the point, not going to really find anybody as the payload becomes a shield for the Hive. Pepto though going to find Hermes once again, who's still just kind of forced into a bad position by the bomb, and Pele flying through the air as his mech's destroyed. Not a lot of time left though, 5 seconds on the clock. Brigitte going down into the little base, the previous spawn there, trying to dislodge a few folks. Bomb goes out, blocked by Tempest, and Banana gets the remake after the bomb. But Tempest going to go in there, going to put a lot of pressure onto the point. There's no one left on the point. Banana coming in there, and Hermes back in the fight. And Mikando getting really low there. Banana getting low too, but Mikando barely misses off. Oh, barely misses her ult. Just not able to get Mercy's ult out there. And Pele going to clean up here. Hermes cleaned up from the point. That's going to be a hold on point 3. I am impressed. New team here coming out.
Yeah. Yurp squad looking so much different here with this Widowmaker of Slimy Serpent finding so much value. And you see what happened in that last fight. It was overtime. Nobody could die. And with the initial picks that we saw coming out, you know, we saw even the delayed pick as well, because Dynamics was picked very early. And that's where actually I think the fight was decided. He got picked so early on in the fight, and then they still tried to push in anyways. And then once they were pushing in, they were playing 5v6. The tire got instantly destroyed by Pepto. You lose that. You lose a lot of your pick value from the Junkrat, you know, on the side trying to come out. And then, of course, without the Brigitte, you lose out on a lot of your burst healing as well as all the value that you can get from the stunts. So the fight was actually decided far before overtime ever even started ticking down, and it was that initial pick onto Dynamics ZB.
All right, well, now it's time to hold on defense, and the Hive has definitely got a tall order after that performance from Yurp. I just love saying their name. Yurp squad. Sounds, you know, like you got a stomach ache there a little bit, but Yurp. Well, anyway, the Hive here on defense, gonna go ahead and pull out the double healer comp they've been really comfortable on here, this Mercy Moira comp. Definitely a good choice when they're not running into any sort of massive bomb or Genji Blade. When you get the, you know, Moira, Mercy, they have high healing potential. So when they're going against Reinhardt Diva, it's really okay to just have higher healing output. But if they were going against a Zarya or a Genji, or maybe even, you know, a Soldier, at that point, that's when you really want that Zenyatta, or maybe even the Lucio. But as you said before, Lucio a little weaker. But either way, it's interesting take on this support comp, knowing what they're going into from the tanks.
Interesting that you say, and that Yurp squad, you know, sounds like you have a stomach ache, because ironically, Pepto Bismol is on this team, who's supposed to relieve stomach aches. So I don't know. You know, it's a little interesting that they choose to have the very thing, you know, the old Revenge of this is, you know, become the very thing you swore to destroy, Pepto. How could you do this? But he's in a Tracer duel with Dynamic ZB right now. He's forced out the recall, while Pepto's looking pretty strong here. He's about 30% on his pulse already, and they've got so much pressure with Pele and the rest of the team. They've just forced him right off this high ground. They have to back up.
Yeah, Slimy Serpent is going to take Banana out there, who kind of went a little deep there. Slimy Serpent's just been such a threat to this team that Banana's just trying to feel the need to get up there and do something about it. But he's left stranded on a rooftop, unable to jump down, afraid to break his little legs, gets taken out. And Slimy Serpent gets punished in kind.
He is brought back in the fight by Kevin Supreme, though. And that's just showing you how much that they depend on him. Because, you know, they res him, they pocket him, they make sure he does not die. Because when he dies, the team suffers. You know, as a result, we see him die, and now they were delayed, and that let them secure the kill onto Pepto. You know, he can come back fairly quickly in this fight, but they had to back out because they lost Slimy there, and then that let the Hive get the pick onto Pepto, and then they just snowballed off of that and shifted the momentum back in the Hive's favor. So they're going to try to keep pushing in here, but Slimy Serpent again comes up big with that first pick onto Funimation. Mikanzo might choose to go for a res here. It's very risky though, able to sneak it off.
Yeah, smart res there, and hammer down, hitting 4 members of Yurp, and the Transcendent's gonna have to come out as a result. There's gonna be a Coalescence follow-up there as a bomb flies out from Pele, trying to hit some people in the back. Does get blocked off though, but the shield in the front line was down for a little bit. No one really connecting on that. Hammer down goes down, and in turn gets 3 people as Mercy gets run over during the Reinhardt charge, which takes out Hermes. Everyone's going down. That's gonna be a 0.1 capture from Yurp squad.
Everybody died there, and it was partly due to Slimy Serpent, and it was partly due to BSOE, the secondary sniper for the team on this Zenyatta, you know? And Slimy Serpent, again, shuts down Dynamics before he can back out here. You know, if I was Dynamics DB here, I might want to switch off the Tracer. You need to counter the Widow better than they are doing right now, because Slimy Serpent, they don't have an answer for them. Every time they try to go for the pick onto him, again, as his name would say, he's a Slimy Serpent. He slips on right out of their hands.
and definitely causes stomach aches, as if you ate a slimy serpent, it's probably gonna make you suffer a little bit. You know, you want to stick with the dry ones, if you ask me. But anyway, let's see here. Pele pushing on with the payload, and he's gonna find this Tracer kind of stuck in the corner. BSOE finishes her off. Trying to blink a little bit poorly there. Hermes gonna try to swing in here. He does have a lot of his team down though, and Pepto's gonna try to find some people in the back. He's looking for Mercy and does find Mikanzo taken out. Bomb flying in from Banana. Gonna try to finish some folks off, but Mercy, Kevin ducking in the building. Hermes though gonna try to find some more swings there. And Pepto takes out Interesting in the back. Pepto just unstoppable, blinks into a wall though, getting a little bit in trouble as Tempest goes charging in. Finally takes out Hermes. They're gonna push this payload just a little bit further down.
Poor Pepto, his momentum finally halted there by some finely crafted Australian steel bear traps there, but he's brought back in the fight, so hey, you get a second chance here, my guy. He did so well in that last fight though on the Tracer. His target prioritization was on point. Went for the Mercy, went for Int Artisan on the Moira, killed the supports, and that's what let the team move in and continue finding value. But here we see a lot of ultimates going on, using everything but the kitchen sink. The bomb is once again diffused, however, only finds the D-Mech onto Banana. You saw the Transcendence come out to keep the team alive. There's a shatter though. Tempest is down. He was jumping up in the air and his shield was low, so Hermes, smart usage out of him to knock everyone down like good old bowling pins here. It's a full strike for him. It's just Bella here on the point. The baby diva, you have to die here, but actually doesn't even need to, because Pepto is there again to shut down the team.
Not really far to go here on a 0.3, and they got the ultimate advantage here on Yurp. They've got the hammer down, they've got the Valkyrie. They're even going to pop sights here to see what that regroup looks like. All they have to do really is get through this door and push a few feet, and they got 3 minutes and 40 seconds to do it. There is a chance to hold here though. Mikanzo could pop his Valkyrie. Funimation could find a big tire here. They're all clumped up at the moment. Now's the time to push in.
All depends on this tire, because you know part of the deal with the escorts, you have to play on the point together as we're seeing them, but wisely they split up, but it still finds the picks that they need onto the Mercy. And now Tempest, of course, soon to follow. You don't have the Diva to matrix your way out of that sticky situation, nor do you have the heals from the Mercy. It's 3.92 meters to go here, so if the Hive can continue to hold them on this point, it's looking really good for them. But with Pepto securing that pick there on the back line, he actually throws the ball, massive wall, finds Mikanzo. 2 picks. This actually could be exactly what they need, because the rest of the team is beginning to push in now.
Pele here is going to have to push in really quickly here. Tempest is now there. Everyone's there. It's time. You got to get in here. Got to take advantage of that. But Dynamic B finds Pepto, though, in the back. It's going to kind of even things out here as Hermes charged out Tempest and then was able to kind of finish him off. What a hold! That's a 4v6 that they were able to take care of. And now they're all grouped back up together after a regroup there. And Coalescence just ripping into the Yurp people. Yurp squad.
Oh, it's Artisan!
What? Wow! That's a Moira play of the game if I've ever seen one.
My boy, Int Artisan, you've done me well there with that quad Moira kill. Well done, Int Artisan. What more can I say? And again, that was a very impressive hold from them, that 4v6. I think it's because they were able to secure that kill into Pepto. Dynamics was watching, got the shield bash, shut down a lot of the DPS that they had. And you know, you've seen Slimy Serpent hasn't really done a whole lot on this last point. It's really hard for the Widow on attack, so I might want to switch if I was them. But you know, that's why, you know, as soon as Pepto went down, they just didn't have enough DPS to secure the rest of the kills. But Mikanzo's on the Lucio now, interestingly enough.
Starting to look a lot like the last point, last map here, though, as Hermes gets Tempest after Tempest actually charges into a trap laid by Junkrat. And now just bombs going out, swings going in. It's just going to be a cleanup here. The Hive saying, you've entered our lair here. You've entered our building. You're not getting any further than this door.
Funimation, though, with that tire, not a good usage there because you've already won the fight. All it did was secure the pick on the Mercy, which you could have done if you just would have, held W, walked up a little bit in there and caught him as he was going for the retreat there, and you lose the tire for the next fight, too, and you'll only have really nothing to combo with the Shatter but the Diva Bomb, which is really hit or miss most of the time. But here, Slimy Serpent, he's finally awoken once more from his slumber, from his hibernation, trying to get some more picks. The bomb comes up, using a lot of ultimates here, but they're going to be able to find the value that they need to try and push this point ever closer. It's just got a little bit more to go. 4 more meters, really. Bomb in the back line. Actually, not sure what that one was because no one was even there. Pepto's there to secure the kills, and that's going to be that there for the point.
Yurp tying it up here. What a good strategy on their part. They knew they only had to go a small distance, so every push before that last one was an economy push, and all they needed was to open it up with Slimy Serpent, the madman on Widowmaker, going ahead and just picking off things. Like this right here, just picking off Brigitte, who's facing her shield, and Brian, who's facing their shield towards the Diva Bomb there, and is able to get a little bit more damage out there too in the end. Just great job assessing the situation, and wow, I mean, you gotta hand it to them there. They definitely have turned things around. We're able to break that terrible turtle with that the Hive had set out for them.
You see BSOE there, 4,405 Transcendence healing. That is nothing to scoff at, especially when they're not running the Grav Dragons combo, right? That's just so much healing every single time you are using that Transcendence, and it's good value from BSOE there. That's how you how exactly you want to use the Transcendence as either a push enabler or a push denier, right? You use it, pop it, kind of like Lucio's ult, you use that as you're engaging. You use the Transcendence as you're engaging. Everyone pushes in along with it, and then, wow, look at that. With 100 healing per second. Who would have thought you could have taken the point?
Yeah, I really don't know. That just so many different things went wrong there for the Hive. Just every ultimate seemed to connect on one person, and Slimy Serpent, he's just in alt mode 100% of the time on that Widow. So now it's time to go into the hybrid map, and on hybrid there's a lot of options for you to play, but the most popular, of course, King's Row could come out here, and definitely might favor the Hive, who, even though they lost that point, had a very, very strong defense with their triple heal, triple tank comp, or double tank, triple heal comp. I think they did have the Junkrat in there too, but if they can run that triple tank comp, or even just run what they were running before, that'd be a great place to do it. It does look like they are going to choose Eichenwald, though, which has a similar holding pattern to Dorado in the first part.
That's true, because with that they're both similar maps, because you have that arch, right, that you hold. Only in this case you don't hold the high ground, you hold the level ground. So Pharah has a lot more value there if you want to push into that. She can flank on the side around the around this big old pit of death on the side and get behind the team. I've seen that multiple times, and it's always worked well to just completely annihilate the team if they're not watching for it. Those rockets, 130 damage each. That's not what you want to be running into on this fine Sunday afternoon here, or night, depending on where you're at. Still afternoon here in Pacific Northwest, but sure, all across the U.S. All those weird time zones. We don't talk about Central Time though. That's the cursed area.
Oh no, Central Time, the cursed area. Oh no, what do you have against the folks in the Western Midwest? Got a problem with those Wisconsin folks? The cheese wheels, or state bird is the mosquito because they fly around in swarms?
Listen, or cheese wheels.
Or is it the pass-through states like Iowa and South Dakota where there's really nothing to do? Although there's Mount Rushmore there in South Dakota, so so Central Time is a magical place where you gotta come out sometime.
That's fair enough. You usually tend to stick, of course, to the north or northwest. The Pacific Coast, all those beaches and good stuff, or the far east with the Atlantic. Never really gone into the Midwest or Middle America. Have to do that sometime.
Well, yeah, and don't forget Dallas Fuel, Houston
That's
Outlaws,
true.
Both in Central Time and down in Texas. Yeah, definitely something you might consider at some point.
Enough.
And Florida, of course, has some Central Time in it too in the Panhandle. All right, well, I think we're done with time zones for now. Yeah, a little too educational a stream here. We want to see some Overwatch now. So looks like we are rolling out with the triple heal, triple tank comp on the offense, as kind of anticipated. They're taking as many of the routes through here that they don't have as minimum amount of line of sight here on the offense.
No Pharah though, which is a little interesting, but they're gonna again use Slimy Serpent on the Widow. But with all the shield comps that they're using, the triple tank even with the Ryan Zarya Diva, it's gonna be hard for Widow. But regardless, Slimy Serpent shows he can find the value, and of course the team collapsing on that initial pick right away. Very smart move. That's how you want to do this, how you want to play it. Tempest is down though. That's a big pick on the Reinhardt because you lose, of course, as I've said before in the past, the big old beefy German man and that 2000 HP shield, and the Mercy can't res it, of course, because it's just such a risky play. He's actually going to go in now. Does almost sneak off the res, but the team is there to shut him down. And again, so interesting because you would have thought Slimy Serpent getting that initial pick on the Mercy. Wow, looking so good for the Yurp squad, but again, they can't capitalize. They can't carry that momentum from that initial pick and, you know, and make something out of it, you know? It's like they have the dough. They know what they're doing, you know, they get something to work with, but they just look at it and they're like, what do I do with this? I don't know. What is this? What am I looking at here?
Well, at this point, you know, Slimy Serpent either needs to start getting a massive amount of more picks or he's going to have to start taking some flanking routes at this point because he just can't fire his gun fast enough to take out all the damage coming out, take out all the shields and characters here. So we'll see what he does here. Maybe he'll try to get one of those flank routes, like I said. If he can do that, he'll be able to get the picks.
Yeah. Really depends a lot on Slimy Serpent here because he's been pretty much the carry of the team so far in the past, but an Artisan pops the Coalescence, going to take out the Mercy right away, penetrating right through that shield. Can't block that one, Tempest, sorry. Pepto, though, in the back, takes down the Mercy of their own. Both Mercies down here. Every kill for both sides is going to be permanent, but with 4 minutes left, it's still looking fairly good in favor of the Hive here as they continue to try and push through. Into Artisan, risky play there. The DPS Moira goes on in. Melee Slimy Serpent to death, but BSOE is there to, of course, give him a nice, good old Orb of Destruction to the face to think about, but Tempest over the edge by Dynamic ZB. He went for the charge there, as usual that we've seen to expect that aggression from him in the past, and it was just completely shut down by Dynamics there. But you see the bomb actually did get stuck onto the Mercy there, but they were able to bubble it, so he was able to survive it. That's why McConnell's still in this fight. Slimy Serpent tries to make things work, but it's just not enough. It's too little too late. They can't find the rest of the picks, and the Hive looks like they're going to be able to cap this one out and start pushing in the final stages of the Eichenwald Castle.
Pretty cut and dry here. It's the same problem as before. Slimy Serpent just doesn't have enough damage to really break this triple heal, triple tank comp. And some excellent plays, though, by the Hive that made it possible. Of course, we saw the Zarya bubble onto the Mercy when the bomb went off. We saw the Reinhardt get knocked off the edge. So there's definitely some ways that they're capitalizing on this composition here, and this is the place they really want to play it in these close quarters. And they got the ults to go with it too. I think we're going to see a grab right away here as soon as that Diva gets out of the way.
Makes a lot of sense. That's what I would do too here. And you see, watch Funimation's positioning. Notice how he's playing a little more aggro. If you are the Diva, like Pele here just did, you fly into that. You make sure you try and shut that down. But he was able to sneak it out, you know, give him a little bit of a bait and switch. Went around the corner, went back around the corner. Pele here didn't know how to respond. There's a bomb that comes out though. 2 picks, of course, came out from the bomb of Banana. That's how you want to open up this push. And you see Dartisan pushes up close with the Moira, throws out a pinball, tries to make something work, finds the pick onto BSOE, in fact, but there's a charge on the point from Tempest. He's going to be shut down. Shatter comes out, can't find anything. There's a counter Shatter, though. It's a lot bigger than Hermes could have done, but again, Tempest, that was the hero play. Self-restraint earlier, not a lot of self-restraint here. I get that it's just you. You saw the big opportunity, you wanted to go for it, but it's not enough DPS there. You can't make that play.
And that's going to be a cap there for the Hive. Pretty much a dominating performance by then. They walked it from beginning to end with no real interruptions. I really think that the Serpent, Slimy Serpent there, is just getting absolutely shut down this whole time. Yeah. And especially at this last point, there's just no real place for Widow to position. So he's not able to get the damage out that can beat that. But I think, yeah, this is just kind of a great plan here by the Hive. If they can have Yurp just kind of shut down on the Widow, then there's going to be no problems here. So now it's time to kind of hold the choke, make sure Widow doesn't kind of catch you by surprise on that high ground there or catch you with a jump shot. I think you're good as gold to hold point A here.
Yeah, because the interesting part is Slimy Serpent, and this is what I see a lot of times. Slimy Serpent is a great Widow, right? You see the amount of value he can get and the picks that he can get. They're crazy shots that I've seen from them from Slimy Serpent. But if you are the Yurp squad, you notice that. You notice, wow, Slimy Serpent's really good. He's just the Widowmaker, and then you rely a lot. Let me restart that because I realized where I was going didn't make sense. You put a lot of pressure on Slimy Serpent, and you need him to get the picks, right? And then you invest a lot of your resources into that. You pretty much build the entire team composition around that Widowmaker. Widowmaker, you need to get the picks, but then as soon as they move to counter that, you're kind of lost. You're dazed and confused. Lost out in the desert or this abandoned castle, and you don't really know how to respond to it because all you've done in the past is, okay, you play the Widowmaker gets picks, wow, we win the games, look at that. But now that the Hive has adapted, they have evolved, you could say. They know now how to counter this Widowmaker. It's with this big old tanky comp because Slimy Serpent just can't get enough damage through it, and it's up to the Yurp squad to try and adapt back, evolve back in turn, and counter this out.
Well, they're going to try to counter it out by putting this Pharah into the play. We see Slimy Serpent actually switching on to support, onto the Zenyatta here. So a very interesting variety in their play. Definitely have some options open to them with that.
Interesting that they're choosing to run the Reaper here, but it makes a lot of sense because, Reaper does a really good job of taking down the tanks, and I think that's what they're going for here. But BSOE on the Pharah. Up top, they have no contest for that. The Hive, they can't have any damage, and here's the flag from the side, like I was talking about before. Banana flies up to try and harass him right away, but Kevin Supreme is, of course, there to heal him and support the team, and now you're just spamming rockets onto the point. They can't do anything, as you see the value it has. Shuts down Funimation right away. There's so much damage. Denied the res from Mikonzo with that concussive blast. Absolutely beautiful execution there from BSOE as he finds the kill to Hermes as well.
It's going to be a pretty sweet approach here. It's a pretty cut and dry thing as we go in here.
Yeah.
Dynamic Breeze is going to kind of get taken out there. Pepto. Really, the problem here was that Pepto is just able to kind of sneak in the back line there, and the amount of damage he's just laying, the pressure that he's putting on there was just absolutely huge. And then, of course, BSOE, as you said before, he's just up there in the sky, and there's literally only one thing that they could have done about that, and that's just had maybe Mercy start throwing some shots up there, but, a little early for Valkyrie at the beginning of that fight. So quick take by Yurp. And the Hive now kind of switching on to a little bit more of a anti-Pharah composition.
Yeah, it makes sense. They want to have the Pharah duels here. Mikonzo actually almost got his wings clipped there with that beautiful air shot from BSOE. But of course, now the switch that comes out late, BSOE already has Barrage, whereas Dynamics, it's only 25% there, only a quarter of the way there. Here, Pepto, though, with a drop down from the trees. Or from the top of the cast, from the ramparts, would you say, onto Mikonzo there, and can't res the Resurrector, so Dynamics ZB is of course finished off shortly after by the rest of the team, and this leaves Pharah of BSOE all that good old room to work with, all this real estate here.
Definitely plenty of space room to just absolutely throw down here, as he's basically just had one ult there, and that's all they needed on Europe. As long as they do that, except Dynamic B is Dynamic B answering in kind, just shooting them out of the sky as we're talking about there.
Slimy Serpent. Man,
that was
great shots. Widow, Zen, doesn't matter who he's playing, can find him anyways, but in Artisan again, as usual, you cannot block that Coalescence Tempest, I'm sorry, but no, what else? You can't block that double kill bomb from Pele here. This shifts the momentum back in their favor as BSOE is returning here. He still has the Barrage to work with. They, of course, have the Shatter as well, but there's a bomb in the back. It's not really going to find anything. Pele here chose to use it there. Or no, Banana chose to use it there, and it's not going to get anything. Dynamics, though, shut down by BSOE. They're still trying to make this work in their favor, but Mikonzo pops the Valkyrie, trying to dodge, of course, the air shots of BSOE before he wants to use this Barrage here. Actually would save it for the next fight, but they're able to sneak off the res onto Hermes for this next fight. But the ult advantage as well as the numbers advantage is such on the side of the Yurp squad here.
And right now they're just sitting on so many ultimates, it's going to be any wonder that if they don't kind of cap this here. But the Graviton Surge going out is going to be met with the Transcendence. Both teams just trying to get stuck in the middle of this bridge. But BSOE answering with a counter ult there by using Barrage, taking out pretty much all the defenders there. And there really weren't that many defenders there. That's kind of pushed in by themselves. But they did pull a couple ults, which I think was critical there. And now, just as I was saying, they have lots of ults to push this last point. They don't have as many. And if we look at the clock too here, Ian, it's looking like that they're going to finish with a little less time on the clock. So this hold has been successful so far by Hive. Let's see if they can make it even longer of a hold here.
If I'm the Pharahs, though, I would switch off here because Pharah is not that good in this last point. You can make it work. You know, it's, again, not ideal. It's possible, but it's probably not going to find the value because it's so closed off, right? Dynamic ZB, you see him already discorded and just so many shots come out. There's a shatter on the point, though. Looking to make it work. Pepto. There we go. With a triple kill. Death Blossom there. Fitting to shut down the team, but there's a double kill in turn from Banana, but it's a full team wipe regardless. So even though that post-mortem double kill maybe looked like it could be a spark of hope, the Hive still just couldn't capitalize because the picks had already come out on the side of Yurp squad. It was really a desperation bomb from Banana there.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. That's just a power of just running Pharah there at the very end is not very strong, and on defense it's a little even a little bit weaker as there's just not many places to hide or really get some angles there. Would have liked to have seen a swap a little bit sooner, but that Diva Bomb definitely would have been a little bit more useful ahead of time there. And actually she might have been able to stall had she not thrown that bomb back into the back and had thrown it on the point so that she could have gotten back in mech afterwards. So I don't know a little much about Diva's strategy 100% there. Maybe there was some you know, all-in play that was going on there where she tries to survive some mysterious world where she gets back in her mech. But it all started off there, though, at the very beginning with just a little bit more of a ult advantage from Pepto here. So this Reaper coming out there, Slimy Serpent, you know, his carrying days are done. He's passing the torch over to Pepto, who's doing amazing on that Tracer. Now they're just going to run this Reaper. So now, what are we going to do on defense here, Rian?
If you're on defense, right, you expect the Pharah switch, and BSOE, of course, is on the Pharah. Again, you know, you expect the Pharahs on both sides here, and as well as the hit scan to go along with it, try and counter. That's what Funimation explained with the Soldier. So they're going to be trying to shut down the Pharah as much as possible, deny this flank that BSOE is going for right now. Because if you shut down that flank, you know, you lose the first push, it's hard to get the momentum going after that.
Yeah, and they're going to push in here. This is going to be a little bit slower this time. Pepto not really taking that wide flank. He's moving with the team. And they are posturing away just towards the point, just about getting ready to get on there. Pepto looking potentially for a flanking route. Not going to take it, though. But Tempest getting the fire strike there onto the Mercy, who is getting harassed by Pele. And now both the Pharah Mercy are down. They're going to push in freely now as there's no one left to bring them back up here. And BSOE finishing things off with Pele. That's going to be a point A take.
Let's see if I can get the meme right this time. Who would win? One PhD with specializing in combat medicine who can literally bring people back to life, or one fiery boy? There we go. How's that? How's that? How's that?
Slightly better. Slightly better. At least the format was correct this time. Is this a meme? You know, that's another little meme for you there. But
there you go.
The Pharah battle is raging on here at the top. Definitely going to be a factor here, but another factor on the ramparts is you do have this Soldier, and on this map particularly, Hitscan isn't doing so badly as they are on some of the other maps. So we'll see if this Soldier does come into play.
Oh, Pepto tried to sneak his way on out of that one, but just got shut down with that air shot. There was playing a little aggro trying to find the shots onto Banana on the tank, but he was just able to matrix that out. Pele here's the mech to start things off for the defense here in Dynamic ZB. Shuts him down right away. So there we go, Pharah. This is exactly how you want to play it. You know, once your main threat is down, you just want to be able to spam shots into the backline, do all that good old chip damage, and Artisan actually able to sneak that kill off onto Slimy Serpent for Pepto. Now arriving back from spawn is able to shoo him away from the rest of his team there.
I know it might not look like much. He's not really popping up on the kill cam here, but Funimation is doing a lot of damage right now, and he's got his ultimate ready to go to take that Pharah Mercy out of the sky should they try to take too high of a route there. But he's not playing high. He just now is switching to high ground, but he wasn't playing high ground there before.
Oh.
No, now he's back on low ground.
Pepto's there, though, and he is actually rather close to a Death Blossom here. If he can get it, play the team a Funeral Dirge, perhaps, but doesn't seem like it's going to happen so far as he's able to be pushed back from the team, but there are more boobs coming out. Love the displacement that comes out. They're able to sneak around the corner from the bomb. Actually does catch Dynamics on the rotate there. McConzo's coming back out, though, with the Valkyrie just to pop that out and try and keep the team alive. Funimation, again, using that using that tack visor to shut down the Pharah because you don't really have a lot of cover when you're up in the air like that. But there, Shatter comes out from Hermes, not going to find anything. There's a BSOE with a barrage of his own, however. Banana shuts him down with the Matrix as well as just, you know, the good old-fashioned left click. Drops the bomb right on the point just to space him off. And with the barrage coming out as well, you really put yourself in a bad position there. But Pepto looking to turn things around with a Death Blossom of his own. Does catch Banana coming out of the mech. Mikanzo's back on the point. Solo here as the Mercy. You can't contest. You're shut down by the team. Funimation's returning now. Dynamics DB onto the Lucio, looking for the contest.
It's going to be a close one here as they push in with a little bit better spawn advantage. Even though they're down in numbers right now, they're going to be quickly catching back up. And they are pushing in now as Hermes is going to try to take Pele out of the mech. And it's going, if he gets him out of there, it's going to be a start of something bad. But there is the bomb going up and around. Charging in from Tempest. Does connect. Hermes taken out. Opening up a pick there. And now he's going to go ahead and hammer down. He's on fire. He's swinging away. Everyone going down as Silent Serpent popping that Transcendence. Now we're into overtime. And there are 12-second resurrections timers coming up here. They might be pushing this the rest of the way.
Could very well be seeing that if the rest of the team gets caught with the bad spawn. If they can secure the kill, Mikanzo not able to fly out in time there. But you see what happened was they went for the res. Mikanzo went for the res there, and then of course got shattered instantly by Tempest. And that was beautiful ult usage from him to both shut down the Mercy, deny the resurrect, deny the Mercy herself from all the healing. Pepto's going for a flank, Death Blossom by the way, on the sidelines, and then you shut down the D.Va as well, who's one of the best stallers in the game, right? And Pepto teleports behind you. Nothing personnel, kiddo. Doesn't seem like he's gonna find a lot of value though. In Artisan's down, does get the D-Mech, but Funimation trying to turn things back around with attack visor of his own. It looks like it's gonna be blocked for the most part. Actually does catch Kevin Supreme, who's going for a resurrect there. Catches Pepto as well. BSOE though uses a huge barrage to forecast that justice, but they're gonna pay for it. Not actually anyone gonna be able to get on the point there. BSOE totally putting the team on his shoulders right there, along with Pepto, the DPS duo. Popping off, the playmakers, dream makers, going off, showing these gamers who's boss here.
Yeah, they did a little bit, but BSOE, you know, a little too high up there to kind of contest the point. But then again, there was a very close spawn for the defenders there, so probably not the end of the world for him. He's not going to lose sleep over missing jumping on that point there at the end. The Slimy Serpent, on the other hand, he could have walked up there. He could have seen that coming and actually got in there. So, tisk Slimy Serpent, you're the one who's he's gonna be the one bearing that burden earlier. But looks like we're not going to be seeing a round 7 game, which is what I was a little bit worried about for these guys here, as it's a very hard endurance match here. But both teams very strong on offense. Now, if you're on the offense this time around, looks like they're switching it up this time. Not going to run that triple tank, triple heal, or that kind of composition here. They're aiming a little bit more for. Oh, no. They heard me talking. They heard me talking, Rian.
They heard you.
No, they heard me talking again.
Oh, they heard you again.
They can't decide here. But there's definitely advantages to both of them. But I'm sure that they're a little bit worried about. What is this? Pharah without mercy?
Interesting. There we go. That's all right. Seems they were very, very confused on themselves, perhaps, what they were gonna run until the gates were open. In fact, but now the gates are open. The races are off. They're gonna see if the Hive can, carry that hold if they can, and try and get this initial attack. See how they can make this work. They're on the sidelines trying to push through here. Hermes initially playing this a little slow here. Smart. Wants to make sure he gets the support from his team before he moves in and gets really aggro, as we've seen both the Reinhardts do in the past. See him saving his shield. Very wise, using the natural cover of the map to blend in with your surroundings. Perfect, Hermes. That's what you want to do, Now, Tempest charges. Gonna miss, however. Can't find that tackle there. You won't be finding him in the NFL anytime soon, but Slimy Serpent in the backline, pressured by Banana. The heals are there from Kevin Supreme, and actually, they're going to get the D-Mech onto Banana here. Do not mess with Zen. He's Jack. He wears the freshest clothes, hangs out with the hottest dudes. You wouldn't talk this to him at LAN. Come on now. Slimy Serpent now finishes off Banana as well, but Dynamics DB is there in turn on the Pharah to shut everyone down. Pella here can't get back in the mech. Was able to sneak off that res somehow. Kevin Supreme able to get that one off, but could not, in the end, survive for long enough for him to even get back in his mech. So, Pepto's finished off, swallowed him down right like a pill, possibly where his name might come from, interestingly enough. But BSOE here has the barrage for the next fight.
Very decisive take there, and this is the reason
Very
we
decisive.
don't really see Reaper as much in the meta. He's a very easy character to take down when you have the healing power, when you have the right composition, and that's kind of just what happened to him. He got in the backline there, and he just Wraith formed, ran out of Wraith form, got destroyed. So now he's swapped off. He knows that the jig is up, the skill check has been met, Reaper no longer going to work. On to Widowmaker. And we'll see if Pepto's Widowmaker is as good as Slimy Serpent's Widow. Now, since they've kind of swapped a little bit of roles here.
It's kind of interesting that they're choosing Pepto to be on this Widowmaker because, you know, Slimy Serpent usually the one with that role. But I'm thinking what they want to do is, because Slimy Serpent's playing the Zen right now, and he has Transcendence, and they're expecting the Graviton combo that Funimation has just gotten now, right? So possibly, you know, could wait until that comes out before using that. But with 2 picks coming up from BSOE in the backline, 3 make it. 4 make it. Can he make it 6? Let's see. Tempest is there actually to secure that, and if they can get this kill into Banana, it will be full 6k for this team here. He's able to actually duck around the corner in time, but you know, I in this next fight, definitely watch out. Finally finds Banana. They're definitely watch out for Funimation with that Graviton combo.
And watch out for your ears, because we're about to hear 12 ultimates go off consecutively.
That's my favorite.
This is going to be the last push for the offense here for the Hive. If the Hive cannot cap this at this point, they're going to be done for the day here.
Gonzo.
Definitely going to have to think about this one here and be very careful. So, Zarya ultimate, probably the most powerful of all the ults, but Slimy Serpent could be a good counter to that. Yeah,
that's how you want to play this, right? Because, you know, they have the Barrage, right? But Barrage on its own cannot penetrate through the Transcendence. You need the Grav Dragons there if you do want to do that. But there, a Shatter comes out with Bomb as well. Good combo. Pepto, of course, shot down Dynamics ZB, so they're not going to be able to grab combo at all. In fact, Funimation himself is just trying to stay alive right now, but with a Barrage, doesn't seem like you're going to be alive for much longer. Finished off, actually, by Pele here, who is able to take that as BSOE is taken down by Funimation there. You know, the Matrix was there to shut him down with 10 seconds left. Can anyone even make it back onto the point? What do you think, HX9?
Oh, they're going to touch it, but it's not going to be for long. If they don't really have the manpower here to take this down. But they do have the ultimate power, and that's what they're going to pop up in here with Coalescence. That's going to pop Transcendence for them, which means that Funimation now can have an uncontested grab. Hermes going for the Pele. The grab does go out, does only hit Tempest, though. Last one on the point. Pepto trying to find some kind of angle from above. Gets taken out by Pepto with a... What kind of barrage is that? It's crazy. Not sure. Going in there, just gonna try to contest the point, trying to get them off the point. They know they outnumber them. Now everyone's just pushing in. There's a last-ditch effort here by the Hive, trying to hold on to their hopes and their dreams as they're getting beaten up. Pushed down, Banana getting DMAC, the last one alive. Dynamic here popped on that tracer, trying to contest the point. He is blinking around. He's looking for an answer. He recalls. He's got a little bit of time left, and the monkey comes in. Hermes gets in there at the last second. And none of these guys able to take out 6 players by themselves as McHanzo finding his way on the point. The 12-second res is taking effect, though. That's going to be it. Yurp squad taking game number 3.
There we go. Now it is 2-1 in favor of the Yurp squad, showing up after that initial defeat from Nepal here. Play the game, going to my boy Tempest during this Reinhardt. Excellent job from him. We're going to see this. This is actually his denial on the res, of course, and that shows you how you want to use Reinhardt Shatter. Sometimes you want to use it again as an aggressor ult. Sometimes you want to use it to deny things like the res or to countering enemy ult. You know, one of the best things you can do if the enemy Reinhardt shatters, well, then of course, you know, he's going to put down his shield, fire strike, go for the swing. That's when you counter shatter, knock everyone flat on their backs there. It's like a 9.0 earthquake. You know, really hard to come back. 9.0. It's a big one. All right.
So, should we talk about the Richter scale?
Yeah. I'm not actually sure if the Richter scale goes up to a 9.0, but it could, maybe. Yeah, it does. It can go up to a 9.0.
It can. It can. It can,
yeah. It's very rare, though. You know, it says one per 10 to 50 years. Yeah. 1 per 10 to 50 years here on the old Wikipedia page, you know, at or near total destruction. Severe damage or collapse to all buildings. Heavy damage and shaking extends to distant locations. Permanent changes in ground topography. I mean, hey, once you push the payload all the way up to the door, it does knock it down. So I guess you could call that a 9.0. Not sure. Maybe that's why Eichenwald's ult destroyed in the first place. Is because last time they were there, Reinhardt and forgive me, Baldric That's his name, Baldric. You know, both of them together. When you got both of the good old Crusaders there, both Earth Shadow at the same time, could cause a 9.0. That could have caused the destruction of Eichenwald. Who knows?
I guess nobody knows really.
That's
here.
official lore, by the way. It's now official lore. Michael Chu, just helping you out, my guy.
It's a common misconception that Eichenwald was destroyed by Omnic.
Turns out it was the Crusaders all along.
Well, speaking of Omnics destroying the world here, let's talk a little bit about Russia's situation here in Volskaya. This is the 2CP map here that they have chosen to play on for the final map. The Hive trying to get one last defense in here in hopes to get to map number 5. And in this map, we definitely will see a little bit of Widowmaker, I believe.
Makes a lot of sense because this is actually a really good map for Widowmaker. Slimy Serpent back on that roll. Beautiful. That's how you want to play it. You know, because you can, on Widowmaker, there's so many different options you can play the point as. You can hold on top of the initial, this little room here with the mini health pack. You can hold on the back left of the point. You can hold on the back right of the point. You can hold really anywhere you want, you know, as the Widowmaker. And it's really hard if you're the offense to push into it because, you know, half the time Widowmaker has the high ground. She can shoot over the Reinhardt shields or grapple her way above it or something like that. And it's just very tough to play into a good Widowmaker like Slimy Serpent has shown to be in the past. So we're going to see if he can carry that momentum through. But on the offense here, what on earth am I looking at here? What is this abomination? I don't want to see this. I'm sure they're going to switch off this comp because if they choose to run this, you're going to see one confused caster here.
Well, I believe this is the ever classic, well, what do you call this one here? Building, the building comp, you know, where you put as many builders together there, and then you have Foreman Doomfist, you know, kind of leading the way in the building efforts. But I guess they're deciding that the building efforts are going to have to be postponed, much like the construction on my local interstate. Never actually getting done, and they're going to go with this more standard triple healer comp.
Makes sense. This is the comp you want to run, you know, with the Lucio, speed everyone out on the point, but with Banana down right away. So that's a hard pill to swallow with that initial pick, but they're able to get the counter pick. Funimation actually finds that on the Lucio, but Tempest is there on the point, shutting down his apprentice Dynamics ZB. Maybe another day, Brigitte Reinhardt says, but for now, looks like the point is going to be held by the Yurp squad as they're able to take down the tanks. Funimation now has to escape, skate his way out of there, skate fast, get his way off out of this point before he's taken down. But Banana actually returning now is able to take out Slimy Serpent, has to escape though. And of course, Funimation is still behind enemy lines here, finally chooses to escape, get his way out of what could have possibly been a pretty big stagger. So for now, again, the point goes towards the Yurp squad on the back of that initial pick from Pepto.
Not a lot of ultimates here gained by either team, both kind of sitting on nothing. But there are some coming up and a lot more coming up on the defense and the offense, and that's going to play a big factor if they cannot cap this quickly.
Pele here has the bomb, actually was able to secure it there, so could use that to contest the point. Actually could use it to shut down the team if he wants, but Tempest has to play it solo, Raiden solo up top, but here's the Coalescence comes out right away, bomb comes up, but maybe not as high as he wanted. There's a stick on the Dynamic ZB in the backline, though. Pepto having so much value on this flanking Tracer, shutting down Int Artisan as well. The damage came out, and Pele here just was there to, you know, be the axe that finished off, the axe on the chopping block for this team. And that's pretty much what Pepto's been as well, the judge, jury, and executioner of this team. But Banana finally showing him who's boss, taking him down with a couple well-placed shots to the face.
This Banana guy's looking a little scary right now. He does get taken out by Slimy Serpent, but he did get a little bit of damage in there ahead of time. So he might be coming in here with this big old blender attack. We'll see if he kind of sneaks in the backline here too. I think if he can do that, Slimy Serpent might be in trouble. So definitely could utilize some flank routes here to get the sneak on him just like the last time.
Let's see if Banana can peel apart the offense with the Beyblade, or as it's called, you know, back in the old days with the Nano Death Blossom, the old Beyblade days. I miss those times, you know. It was unbalanced as all heck, but it was a lot of fun to watch. But here's a beat on the point to counter the bomb. Does catch Kevin Supreme. However, the point is now looking like it's going to be going towards really the Hive initially as they're getting the picks. Really depends on what they can do. Tempest goes for a shatter, but it's going to get shut down. D-Mech comes out from Pele here, and that is going to be that on the point. BSOE. The poor Zenyatta, no mobility, cannot escape. Banana does not even have to use that the blender attack, as you so well put it. He can save this for the next point. Just set it to a nice, good old pulse. Get on in the back line, you know. That's how you want to play this out if you are the offense here. Get the Reaper in the back line, shut down the D.Va before she can defense matrix at all, and get as many picks as possible.
Now they're going to push in here for one big old push after that. A lot of ultimates were used on defense and to no success. So now one good hammer down might turn this around as he gets pushed into the back line. Convenient positioning for a hammer, but not convenient health for one as Pepto takes him out. There is some swinging around from Tempest. They are just looking at a disorganized team. It's kind of all over the place at this point and all low on health. I think that's going to be a pretty clear take here for Yurp squad. Nothing doing for the Hive's first push.
Yeah, they tried it, but again, like you said, the push really fell apart. There wasn't much coordination that I saw, you know. For a second, you could have shown me footage and told me it was quick play, and honestly, I might have believed you with the way that push looked, and it's really just team need to take a deep breath here. Just calm down. You got it. Just play it slow. Just play it like you've normally been doing, you know, and just get your team back together, slap some sense into them, you know, and you still got the Reaper ult and the Shatter to work with. If they can make it work, that is going to be pretty much the point.
And the point it might be here, they're pushing in with Coalescence right now as they're looking for some folks in the back lines with that. He's trying to get Sniper off the high ground, and it does kind of dislodge her, which enables the team to kind of push in here. They're just going to melee down some folks on a huge brawl. The bomb comes out, does take D.Va off the point, and the first bomb taking out in Partisan though. So he is one man down on the offense here. It could be a factor in the long run here as so. BSOE coming in, gonna have top that Transcendence. Keep up the Reaper now, Pepto, as he just kind of lays into everybody there. It's a turnaround at this point, but Banana popping his ult. He's getting a few people down there, but he's already lost most of his team, and they're just not going to get the damage out here at this point. There are too many people up for them to take out. Now the close res playing a huge factor in this. Yurp squad going to clean it up here.
They're trying to secure. Oh, wrong teams possibly? I don't know. But here, they're trying to contest right now. This is what 2CP, this is why everyone hates 2CP, is because of these crazy stalls that you see come out. Kevin Supreme's on the point, looking for the stall along with Pepto here, who can restore health. He's a vampire, sucking the life right out of the Hive here. And now you see Tempest comes back on the respawn, tackles Hermes right into the wall and looks for the finish. Actually gets a shatter off from Tempest. There doesn't really find anybody though. They're going to be able to res Pepto back into the fight right away. Spare him the 8 seconds that it takes to walk back from the spawn. That is why 2CP is so hated, is because the spawns are so close for the defense. It's so hard to get a foothold, but regardless, they have 2 ticks on the point. They only need one more push here, and they could make it work. Look at that, 77%. But here you see Slimy Serpent plays really aggro, up close and personal, and he gets a nice face full of flak from McStukes there. Not what you want to be doing if you are the McCree here, because now the rest of the team can push on in. But you see the blender attacks from both Reapers now come out and are available for both sides. But you have a little bit more in the way of ultimates, especially on the offensive here with the Coalescence and the Sound Barrier. So Hive really, I don't know why they didn't push in there while the McCree was down, but they're gonna pay for it here because they lose a lot of time. You know, 1 minute 38 on the clock.
Into Artisan getting picked off by yet another D.Va bomb. He's having a lot of trouble getting keeping his fade up so that he can take care of some of these big bomb plays. They're gonna pop their Skudasha there as Pepto pops his ultimate there. Doesn't quite get anyone. He gets taken out by Banana. Not really able to get through that sound barrier. And now they're brawling on the point. A lot of melee, a lot of big shots. Hermes taking the hammer down. Hits Slimy Serpent, slams him into the ground. Bomb coming out to kind of cover the point there. Does take out the rest of them, and that's gonna be the tick there. Hive taking it with 1:09 left on the clock.
That's a decent amount of time, you know, considering, you know, the amount of crazy stalls that can come out, like we saw in that fight. You know, BSOE popped the Transcendence, you have the Mercy on the point, you have the respawns coming out. But I think for the most part, what happened there is the defense really just didn't have an answer for all those ultimates, and that's pretty much what it was. They used too many ultimates in the previous fight and didn't have an answer for the double support and then the eventual Death Blossom that did come out a little late. But of course, with all that extra healing and HP you have to tank through, you just simply don't have enough damage to deal with it, especially when you're playing so close like that. You know, your Widow's a sniper, right? She plays long range, she doesn't play close range, so it's so hard for, especially on point B, to engage in those fights on the point itself because it's hard for her to even shoot on the points and get a solid angle that's there, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, early on in that fight, I was actually a little bit worried too, and it looked like they were using their ultimates there to kind of clean up things. And I got a little surprised because the Reaper popped his ultimate and really didn't get too much done with it, but they were still able to take another tick there on the offense. And that might have been a little bit of a risky play that paid off quite well for them. Usually when you're down, you're only down to 3 people. You know that you got 3 or 4 on the offense there. On the defense there, you're not going to be able to take that point. It's just impossible. It's too many people to take out. But they did manage to find an extra tick, and I think that's what made up the difference there, so they could take that final tick on the end there. And now they're on the defense, and they have not too much to worry about. With a minute on the clock, they can hold them. If they can hold them into overtime, they'll get one last chance to get 1 tick here on Volskaya.
Yeah. I do like the Junkrat coming up from Funimation here. I think it has a lot of value because the choke is so small. Junkrat excels at just spamming shots. I mean, he could just fall asleep at the keyboard here and just hold down that mouse 1 and then just wake up when he gets a pick. He's like, oh, I did it. Look at that. But along with Banana here on the Soldier, you know, we saw the Soldier in the past coming up from actually Funimation, interestingly enough, and you saw how much damage he could have, and we're going to see if Banana can try and get that as well, but they're going to be pushing off onto the side here. BSOE very low, able to get healed though, but Mixed Duke is applying pressure on multiple fronts here along with the rest of the team trying to shut down Pepto, who is very low HP, able to recall all that back out, so no harm, no foul for him here as the team is now set themselves up on the high ground, dropping down now onto the point.
BSOE taking out in Tardison, gonna get an early couple picks there, and it looks like they're just a brutal slaughter on the point as everyone just kind of gets taken out by some just straight up damage. No real ability usage there. No need for ultimates. They've got plenty of time on the clock. This could be a very quick cap here. I'm looking at Yurp squad here.
Yurp squad, look at this. As soon as they cap this point, they're going to take it to the bank. They're going to put it in the bank, and the bank's going to be like, wow, that's quite a bit. I mean, we'll give you a solid 100% interest, as a matter of fact. I mean, that's a crazy amount of interest. Don't know what bank in their right mind would ever do that, but they've got a full extra 3 minutes here from the 3 minutes they already had. 6 minutes to get a full tick. They're looking very, very, very good here. But now, Dynamic ZB on the Mei, looking to use this to contest. Bring out that, of course, the dreaded 2CP lull spam that everyone knows, has come to know and love whenever you see these contest comps come out.
And it looks like it's just a little bit of posturing here. They're kind of worried about this Mei wall blocking them off, but they do push in. Pele popping into the back line, looking to take advantage of that, and gets Mercy, who was low on health. Does get taken out of mech, however, and he's going to get taken out. Coalescence going out into a Mei wall. Going to have to walk around it, and does find his way around it as Serpent, a Slimy Serpent, finding some folks in the back line. A slaughter there as Mei has to pop her wall. Hammer down, though, takes her out of that. And he's going to slam her, gets his wall up there. D.Va going to get back in mech, though, and does have her Mercy with her. Not for very long, though, as Pepto does find her. And now Mercy and Reaper trying to stall this point, trying to get any kind of kills here. Bomb coming out from Funimation as the tires coming in. Going to try to find anybody he can to get this point less stall. He does get taken out by Pepto, though, and hammered down. Also kind of doing a little bit of damage there, too. It looks like nothing's going to stop Yurp from doing anything here. As Slimy Serpent popping his ultimate into a Mei block, though. Funimation getting onto that Doomfist, trying to find a quick kill there. Not really finding anything, though. Slimy Serpent all over the kill feed here at this point. Banana going to pop out there, try to regroup with his team as they make for one last push here. They went on the dive to try to get back on the point very quickly. BSOE, though, popping his ultimate, preventing any of that massive burst damage that could happen from killing any of his teammates. And now they have 6 people on the point still, but Funimation gets Pepto with a tiny little, punch into the face, into the wall. They are going to get the first tick, but they are losing people quickly. Dynamic popping his ultimate onto the point. Blizzard going to freeze Pele, but no one else. They does get him off the point, though, gives them time to regroup. And that regroup is going to pay off as the wall does kind of try to block them off to the point there. They're not going down in health, though, as Dynamic gets taken down. And now Pele popping a lot of damage in there, but hammer down, going to take out Hermes. They're all pretty low on health, though, Kevin, as both the healers do go down now. There are no healers left, only 1 tick on the board for them. It looks like it's going to be a cleanup, but Silent Slimy Serpent finding more of a cleanup on his side, and bomb. Boom.
2CP low.
It's rude. Dynamic is definitely taking advantage of this Mei here because pops her out, though. Last point there, and that's going to be the take. A little bit of a stall, but not long enough of a stall. 3 minutes more on the clock.
That was a full 2-minute fight. My goodness. I mean, that just shows you why 2CP is just so hated, or perhaps tough love from the community, right? Because you just see all this come out. Dynamic ZB, I mean, HX9, you pretty much just took it there. I mean, I was sleeping over here. I don't even know what I was doing. Was just flying around, looking at the scenery, as a matter of fact. Full Sky Industries, because that fight, I knew that fight was not going to end anytime soon. That just shows you the amount of value that the Mei can have and the rest of the team, and how close, how much spawn advantage plays a factor into fights as well. You know, on the offense here, the defensive spawn advantage, or the defensive spawn, so far away, you know, as opposed to some other maps where it's a little bit closer on first point. Volskaya, it's like it's 18 years away. You know, you play that old song, you know, I would walk 900 miles. That's pretty much what you have to do. You have to walk
500 miles.
My goodness. I'm sorry, man. Silver casting out here coming up for me, but that's kind of what it feels like, 900 miles, right? As opposed to 500. Because of how far away the point is, whereas on the offense, you know, it's just a short hop, skip, and jump right onto the point itself, so...
Well, the Proclaimers are very disappointed in you, and they demand that you listen to that song at some point, but we do not represent or condone anything the Proclaimers have said or done. Some restrictions may apply. But now, pushing in here with the triple. A little bit of definitely running triple heals, but no triple tank, running banana instead. Trying to make it take advantage of what they did previously. Definitely worked pretty well on them last time, but they definitely took a while to take the point after that. So we'll have to see if they can get a little bit of better time here. Dynamic here falling off the edge, though. He's going to get beaten out. Taken down. Tempest, though, gets the charge onto his charge to finish him off, but Dynamic Reed did take out Pepto while he was down on the ground. But the charge is going out there. Tempest getting taken out in the other side there. They're going to take the point here. It looks like a pretty clear take at this point. As Kevin Spreem spreading his legs, learning how to fly, and yeah, just getting taken out there a little bit. Slimy Serpent, last one on the point. Going to stall a little bit longer. That's going to be it, though. That's going to be the take. And now one push left to try to get point B on a quick 1 minute push.
Hard to learn how to fly when you're running into not the gust of winds, perhaps, but you know, the Lucio boops, the drafts from him. You know, I'm not sure how sound it can even knock people around, but it's probably very difficult, you know, for this little baby bird of Kevin Supreme here on the Mercy. Kind of interesting because, you know, usually people call her the Moth. Could be a bird as well. It depends. No one really knows what kind of species Mercy is, but now Hive taking advantage of that aggression and pushing onto the point right away. Tempest knocked aside though on that charge, and now they're free to shatter because there's no shield. And actually, he's finished off shortly. Hermes though does not connect with that charge, and he's gonna pay for it now. Discorded on the point, very low HP, and Banana pops the Death Blossom, big one. But Pele here with a big counter bomb to take out 4 members. Tempest is the only one alive. Can he even get back on the point? It depends on whether or not the team can stall him out here. He's trying his best, charging onto the point, but he's not. He's actually gonna miss. Gonna be able to get on the point though, but he's already taken so much damage. He just shortly and sweetly finished off. Pele here is left, but he can't dodge this Diva Bomb. Actually, he's gonna be able to somehow. The Diva Bomb actually found some crazy angle that he was able to duck his way out of that one, but he's DMAC'd, of course, in the corner of the point. Funimation pops the sound barrier here to give the team some extra shields and healing to keep alive, and that's going to be the Hive taking this one out. 0-0 on the clock, but they were able to capitalize off of their initial push, initial momentum from the first cap, and now it's up to them to see if they can hold back the Yurp squad's so far oppressive attack.
Well, I think that is about as well as you could hope to do there on this map. Got both points, so now it's a 4-minute push here from the other team. Now, keeping in mind though, of course, 8 minutes on the clock for the regular round, so they were able to do it in 3 minutes, and a little bit of change there on their first offense. So if they replicate that success, they're going to get a little bit of a bonus. They get about 30 more seconds on the clock when they cap point A. So they could definitely have the potential to cap this here quickly. However, because it's unlikely they'll cap it without a minute or more on the clock, I think that we might be seeing around 5 going into the next series, into the series here. Definitely a possibility at this point. So I think at this point, if you're on the offense, I think you just got to play it safe in a lot of ways. You got to, play a comp that worked for you in the past. You got to find a way to just build your ultimates and just get some easy takes as before. But you can't play it too safe because you don't want to have too little time on the clock to take point B.
That's true. And keep in mind, if the teams do tie here, it could possibly go to map 6, which would be, of course, on control to be, the tiebreaker. But it really depends because, the score right now is Yurp Squad 2, Hive 1. Hive has to win this one if they want any chance of taking this to a map 5, which we could possibly see, you know. And I think for now, what the teams need to do, you know, with BSOE, the first to die, and Hermes, actually that's a better pick, of course, but they're able to res this out. Slimy Serpent can't capitalize in time, but can he secure the kill into the Mercy? He actually can. Now, this is what the team needs to capitalize on. It's very hard to do it, though, when you've got that 75 HP damage hammer swings in your face, along with the little Brazilian DJ knocking you around, doing some damage, being annoying, but he's finally taken down. You can't skate your way out of that Moira. You know, the biotic grasp, it's there to exsanguinate you, suck the life right out of you, and that's what happened there. And that, of course, that initial pick under the Mercy from Slimy Serpent, that's what decided it. Great first take here from the Yurp squad. Now, gotta carry that over into this point B capture.
Well, I think the name of this whole series has had to be Mercy's getting kind of in some bad spots for reses and getting picked off a little early. It's time to play the Arc way, which is you are the selfish Mercy, the surviving Mercy. And if you do that, you'll keep your team up just fine, even if you do lose someone early on.
Yeah, that's how you want to play if you're the Mercy, you know? Not always. You know, you always want to go for the res if it's safe. That res, not safe at all. That res was the opposite of safe. You could have put up a warning sign, in fact, and I think with 4 picks already on the point for Yurp squad here, they're actually looking really good, but of course the stalls could come out. Funimation on the Lucio is so annoying to try and take down, especially when he's skating around up top here, but he's knocked into the Siderman, quickly finished off by Pele here. Now, you see Banana trying to get out of the point, but he's going to be knocked flat on his back, not even going to get a chance to do it. Slimy Serpent, he's going to be running, but there is a huge shatter that's going to come out. Can they capitalize? Do they have enough damage? Doesn't seem like it. Dynamic ZV is on the May, once again looking for the contest here in the corner, in the ice block. Now, looking to wall himself off in the corner, keep himself safe, but here Slimy Serpent popping the Death Blossom. The May wall is actually going to go down from that, but there, the Diva Bomb takes out Tempest. The Rhine is down. You lose a lot of that shield and value, but the picks are still coming out. It's up to Hermes to see if he can contest. He leaps up into the air using those powerful monkey legs, but Artisan's back onto the point now. As soon as he falls, this is pretty much 2 CPs. When one person falls, there's another one to take their place. Look at that. Mixed Dukes tried to make it back on in the end, but it's just not able to. It's 4-4 right now. 2:23 on the clock for Yurp squad.
Oh boy, McStoops.
Up to the Hive.
McStoops actually kind of messed up there. He was actually waiting on the side to try to contest at the last second there. Try to, you know, maximize the amount of time, minimize the amount of cleave damage that his team was taking on the point. But as a result, he just didn't make it in time. He didn't really time it very well. They're definitely going to have to think about that one. And now, Hive doesn't have a chance here. They have a chance to hold up for the tie, but they don't have a chance to win anymore. I believe that this is going to be pretty quick. If the way things have gone so far, they have not yet been able to even hold point A for a single push. So it might be time. It's time to bring out the weird stuff here. It's time to bring out the you know, try to catch them by surprise comp, and it does look like they are going to try to do that with a May on point A this time around.
You know what's interesting is this map is so Volskaya is so Widow favorite, and you see Hive doesn't really have a Widow player. I haven't seen any of their members play Widow so far, and so that's I think why they're having such issues here in holding point A is they just can't get the value from Widowmaker. You know, you saw Slimy Serpent when he was running the Widowmaker, he was getting a lot of picks, and it was really hard for them to play into it. But the Hive just can't mimic that on the defense, so they're gonna be trying. They're gonna be trying the bootleg way, using the May to lock down the choke as much as possible here. Could bait him in and then wall him off and secure an early pick. It's all going to depend on what they are going to be trying to do here.
We're going to see them roll in here as they are trying to get through that wall. May looking for that wall, but absolutely misfires the wall there. That's not looking good as they do try to push into to do a little bit of damage, but now they're on the back line. But this is Tracer is being a little sneaky, trying to pull him back onto point so that there's less of a Maywall factor. Maywall, once again, not really finding anyone, not really bringing anyone off. But both teams still very stable as they're pushing in onto the back line. Pepto finding some damage onto Tempest, though. Tempest gets taken a lot of damage on him, though. And now he's going to charge in. He's going to take Funimation out of the fight, but they are losing members quickly as May has found her way to freeze some members here of the team on Young. Oh boy, that's a wall. Now that's a wall we wanted to see here.
There we go.
Serpent kind of getting cut out from there, but he is able to take out Banana before it's too late. It looks like this is just kind of a dead push, though, at this point. The cheeky play has paid off for the Hive.
Yep, that good old Maywall finally found some value there. Was looking a little not that good on the first few times and a lot of misfires, but once he got the good one, that decided the fight. Kevin Supreme had to fly away from the team and flew right into the waiting arms of McStukes on the D.Va, who quickly finished him off. Not sure about that D.Va bomb, or that Tracer bomb, though. Didn't really find anything, but on the front lines, Hermes is there to be taken down by Slimy Serpent because they've split up the team here on the point using that Tracer annoyance. There's a Maywall to block that D.Va bomb. Does find Dynamic ZB in the end, though, but there is the counter Death Blossom to counter the Death Blossom. There's a Trans, though, to deal with it. D.Va bomb doesn't find anything. It's blocked. There's a Shatter, though. Dynamic ZB still on the point, looking for the contest on the May. That is what May specializes in. Now ducking behind the wall, trying to survive as long as he can, but he's finished off shortly. And soon after that, it's just an Artisan left on the point, and you're through the Mercy. You can't contest for very long. Hermes going in for the suicide push, but he's taken down very, very quickly by that combination of the Tracer bomb and the Reinhardt, of course, giving him that good old rocket hammer right to the face to think about. So Yurp squad gonna win this one in the end. And look at that, and Artisan actually getting the play of the game, even though they lose this one out.
This is just the coalescence here towards the end of one of the pushes here on their second retake there, where they were able to kind of solidify their second push. But very strong play from both teams. Both teams really doing a good job here in the end. However, it went to Yurp squad, who definitely pulled out the stops. It looked like in the first round, you know, we saw them on Lijiang Tower. It looked like they were kind of just getting run over the whole time, but they pulled it back out in the end, and just wow, what a great job. What a great turnaround for them.
What an amazing job indeed. You know, they at the start looking pretty cold. They were not looking good at all. But then in the downtime, you know, I bet they were running their hands under some hot water. They're getting them all nice and loosened up for the next few matches. Probably do some wrist exercise, you know, all the good old stuff to that definitely well and truly do in fact make a difference. But yeah, could just be talking randomly here about what's going on. But you know, after that, we saw Europe squad did end up winning this one in the end over the Hive, and they're going to be moving on in this bracket. But coming up ahead, we've got more matches this Wednesday. Actually, that's when all the matches are going to be. You've got Division A, B, and C playoff matches from all of them, making plays versus comments, as well as Superior versus Defiance coming at 8 o'clock Eastern, and then Havoc versus Solar at 10 o'clock Eastern. Be sure to tune into those. They are going to be killer matches for sure from these great teams, especially, you know, I've seen Making Plays and Comments, both of them play. They are great teams. Expect some big plays coming out of them. But for this match, at least, we're going to see that the Europe squad going to be the ones moving on in this bracket. And I was Rian, your play-by-play caster, or just your caster in general. And this was HX9, the color caster, or just caster in general. Not really set rules here. We kind of just roll with whatever. But we were your casters tonight. Thank you all for watching and tuning in. We will see you all next time for more Overtime Champions matches.